We begin with the lawyers because an Accra High Court has ruled that the Office of the Attorney General can represent the Ghana Police Service in a case seeking to halt a street protest. The Fix the Country campaigners had urged the court to dismiss a case seeking to restrain them from embarking on a street protest. The campaigners say only a police officer can make a request under the Public Order Act to restrain protesters from hitting the street. The court, however, disagreed with this view, ruling that the Attorney General has every right to handle such a matter. Court correspondent Joseph Akablay joins us with more. Joe, run us through the highlights of the court's decision.
And so the point that the judge made was to indicate that under Article 88 of the 1992 Constitution, the Attorney General is the principal legal advisor for government, and the AG, as being the principal legal advisor, is empowered under law to initiate all criminal and civil proceedings on behalf of the Republic. He also is mandated to also defend the state in all civil and criminal matters initiated. And so the point that he made was that if you look closely at the law and what it provides for, even the police officer that is referred to under the Public Order Act cannot make such an application without the express permission of the Attorney General. And so she ruled that he is properly the person to defend such a matter. And so the objections were dismissed by the judge.
Joe, the court, we understand, then dealt with the main issue of whether or not the protest can proceed. What transpired?
And so first, the AG was asked to make arguments in support of the motion that the protest should be injuncted. And Mr. Kofedami explains that
Joseph, before you go ahead, Joseph, pardon me, Joseph, but we're getting a bad connection at this end. Can you reposition yourself? Unfortunately, we seem to have lost my colleague, Joseph Akablay. We will get back to him so that we can find out exactly what transpired in court today and then find out what the lawyers for the protesters have said, because so far we have heard that the Attorney General has been given a right to represent the Ghana Police Service in that case that the Fix the Country protesters are brought against the service. Now, of course, we will be dealing with that matter. Remember, it's been making rounds on social media, the hashtag Fix the Country hashtag, which led to the attempted demonstration which was quelled by government. Let's now speak to Joseph and get those details now. Joseph, can you take the answer to that question again for me? What's transpired in the substantive case on whether or not the protest can go on?
Just to speak to you now, the Attorney General, just a short while ago, completed his legal submissions as to why the street protest cannot take place. And his argument is that there is currently a restriction enforced. This restriction is to protect the students against the spread of COVID-19. And so political gatherings expect that the said protest is a political gathering, meaning that in a notice that was issued to the police, the protesters indicate that they are demonstrating against the failure of successive government to fulfill campaign promises. And so he said that clearly is a political activity. As I speak to you, the protesters, their lawyers are taking their turn to respond to the argument by the agent. They are making the point that under the Constitution, they have the right to protest, and COVID-19 cannot be used as an excuse to bar them from protesting. But in between the court session, Daniel, there has been an interesting development. While we're in court monitoring proceedings, a section of the protesters actually hit the street in front of the law court complex. They were outside the proceeding there, holding placards with the inscription, Fix the Country, and screaming and shouting that the nation needs to be fixed and they cannot continue to use the first legal process to frustrate them from demanding that the nation should be fixed. They stationed here for about 15 to 20 minutes, and afterwards they moved quickly from this particular location.
Did that affect the proceedings going on in court in any way?
Not at all, Daniel. The proceedings are still ongoing as I speak to you now, and the protesters, those who hit the street in front of the law court complex, have currently moved away from them.
How did they move away? Did they just decide to do so, or the police had to intervene?
There were no police officers here at the time that incident happened. The police officers who were stationed here were individuals who are court warrant officers and are taking various activities. None of them actually approached the protesters, and they were hovered around for about 15 to 20 minutes, singing and shouting and indicating that they have a right to protest and that they want the country fixed. And after a while, they moved from here.
Right, the interesting development, Joseph. Can't wait till we see those visuals in later bulletins. Thank you very much for those updates.